Well, Happy New Year and good evening, everyone. I'd like to officially call this meeting of the public session of the Mayor Council, the Borough of New Milford, to order. I would ask everyone to please rise as I ask for a moment of silent prayer and/or reflection as we think about the events that have transpired in our capital this past week and the hope that the deep divisions in our country can soon be healed and we can move forward together as a nation. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag,
flag.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and attend any meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this act, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of New Milford have caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Borough Hall, and notices have been sent to the Record and the Ridgewood News. The mission of this governing body is to provide essential services through the establishment and implementation of public policy that will safeguard the infrastructure, provide fair, honest, courteous, and professional services, establish a sense of trust and accomplishment between all residents, and through research and prudent planning, seek to minimize risk while improving our services. We are sensitive to the needs and satisfaction of our taxpayers, while realizing that this governing body cannot be all things to all people within the revenue constraints imposed by state mandates, economic conditions, and prevailing attitudes about taxation. Being that this meeting is being held virtually, I need to make the following announcement. All participants are muted during the meeting. Anyone wishing to make a comment or ask questions can do so at such time as the meeting is open to the public for comment and during public hearings on any ordinance by hitting the button to raise your hand or by typing a message in the chat box. You will need to state your name and address for the record. Members of the public may also submit written comments for any future remote meetings by either email to cdemiris@newmilfordborough.com or a written letter to the Borough Clerk. Written comments must be received by 4 p.m. on the day of the remote meeting in order to be read into the record during the meeting. Members of the public commenting during a remote meeting shall not act in any manner to disrupt the meeting. If anyone becomes disruptive during the meeting, they will be muted. If time permits, the disruptive individual shall be allowed to speak after all other members of the public are provided an opportunity to comment. Any continued disruption may result in a member being prevented from speaking during the remainder of the meeting. Disruptive conduct includes, but is not limited to, shouting, interruption, and the use of profanity. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yeah. Councilwoman Siraki Hurley.
Present.
Councilman Seymour.
Present.
Councilwoman Duffy, I'm sorry.
Here.
Councilman Grotzky.
Here.
Councilwoman Newton.
Present.
Council President Grant.
Here.
Mayor Petrino.
Here. Okay, under unfinished business, may I have a motion for the approval of the minutes from the December 21st, 2020 closed work public session and the January 4th, 2021 reorganization meetings?
So motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, under new business, before we start new business, I'm going to ask for a motion to add item number 6, which will be Bergen vaccination location. I'd like to discuss the potential of New Milford becoming a vaccination site. May I get a motion to add that to our agenda tonight?
So move. Second.
Can I get a roll call on that?
Yes. Councilwoman Siraki Hurley.
Yes.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sanusin.
Yes.
Council President Grant.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we will start with number 1, which is Chain of Command Police Department, Petrino and Grotzky. Before I pass it off to Ira, I'll just start by saying, as everyone is aware, we had 2 retirees from our police department. We had Lieutenant Dan Lamorgis, who retired, And Officer Billy Wild's last day will be February 1st. That leaves a gap in our ranks. At the same time, a lieutenant's test was issued, and Officer Sergeant Herrero had scored the highest on the test. So he would be eligible to be the next lieutenant. And Officer Brian Carlino is on the sergeant's list, so he is next in line to be a sergeant. So we have the issue of promotions as well as filling the 2 slots of our retired officers. So I'll turn it over to Councilman Grotzky if he wants to add anything to that, being he is the police liaison.
Okay, with the 2 retirees and hiring of 2 new officers, the borough stands a net gain of approximately $175,000-$180,000 between the salaries. We currently have 2 officers, two candidates, shall we say, that are already ready to go, and the chief is looking for us to give our blessing so he could go ahead and hire the 2 new officers, both of which who actually live in New Milford. I therefore think we should.
The hiring of 2 officers will put our numbers back at our total of 37, which is the number that we've been going with the last couple of years. And at that number also allows the police department to have the traffic division as well as the community policing division.
It'll also help our accreditation because we're about 90%
Absolutely.
getting our accreditation.
Yes, chain of command and filling empty slots is critical in our accreditation process. And we are about 90% complete with accreditation. So that is a big thing for New Milford. So we will talk about more of that when accreditation is finalized.
Are we allowed to know the names?
I think you would be bringing them forward at the next meeting via resolution.
All right. Thank you.
So I guess we just need to make sure that everyone is okay and that we will have it on our next meeting for approval. And if everything is approved, I will do the swearing-ins as well as the promotions on Tuesday, the 26th, in a private ceremony in the courtroom.
There will be a limited number of people there, correct?
We will follow all CDC and New Milford guidelines, of course.
Mr. Mayor, I just had a question for my own purposes. This is, I assume, budget neutral. Does it actually free up money?
Yes.
Yes, Ira said that it's a gain of 175.
Oh, it is a gain of that. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, thank you.
Does anyone else have any comments on item number 1? Okay.
Yes, I do. Ira, you said
Councilwoman Sarafi Hurley.
you said the 175 to 180 is less. So then it would even be less when we hire the 2.
That's
new
included. No, the savings with hiring, the
With
2
hiring.
officers will be around 175, 180, give or take a couple of bucks.
Thank you.
Item number 2, Community Development Block Grant, CDBG application, Borough Administrator.
Yes, good evening. The application for the Community Development Block Grant is due by the end of the month, and there's only certain areas that are eligible or certain types of projects that are eligible. And one of the areas is in the, would be around Fowler and Pacific and Bulger. And we have 2 areas of road that are in need of resurfacing. The first is Pacific, and that is from Reichelt to Fowler. And the other was Fowler, and it's from, I think, 265 Fowler to Bulger, I believe. And I had the engineer provide me with an estimate for both of these pieces. And the estimate for Pacific is $55,175, and the estimate for Fowler is $81,675. I did ask our contact from Millennium if they thought it would be possible for us to get both of these pieces funded with one grant application. I wanted to be careful because in the past, when we had applied for a large section of Fowler, we were only given a grant for a portion. And when we tried to apply for the balance, they denied us because it had been part of another application. So I don't want to apply for more than we can get funded, so that we would have the opportunity to apply for a second piece in another application. Based upon the information from the DPW, the priority would be Pacific, that it's in the worst condition. And therefore, I would like the council's blessing to move forward with an application for the Bergen County Community Development Block Grant. And in addition to the $55,175 in construction costs, there's approximately $15,500 in engineering that would be involved, which would not be eligible in the grant. So we would only be able to apply for the construction costs. There is a resolution on tonight's agenda to authorize this application in order to make sure that we make the timeline for the deadline for submission. So I just wanted to give everybody the information, the background on the resolution, and to see if there were any questions.
So is this for Pacific or Fowler?
It's for Pacific.
Thank you.
And that's for the 85,000.
No, unfortunately, it's the 55. I was hoping it was the larger one, but it's the 55,000.
Oh, okay.
I've driven both sections. Pacific is in bad shape,
It is, I agree.
bad shape.
But we'll have something for next year when the application comes around.
Right. Is everyone okay with moving forward with Pacific Street?
Yes.
So that would be 45,000 to us with the 15,000 engineering.
No, the 15,000 engineering is in addition to. So the grant application would be for the 175.
Okay.
If I may, Mayor, I just want to go back to number one. I take it everybody is in favor of going forward?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions about item number 2? Okay, let's move on to item number 3, which is DOT Grant Boulevard Project Scope, Borough Administrator.
Yes, okay. We talked a little bit about this previously. Let's see. We had an application for $413,000 for the DOT for a section of the boulevard. The grant award was for $214,000. And so I asked for the engineer to update the estimate and to discuss what we could do. After reviewing the estimate, the engineer said the updated construction cost estimate is based on a site walk that they performed, and the scope includes mill, pave, and select curb and driveway apron repair, ADA ramps, and inlet reconstructions. And they've now updated the estimate to $337,459, which is, again, still more than the 214 that we've been awarded from the DOT. So we have the option of, as always, of course, to fund the difference, or we can reduce the scope of the project. And the suggestion that the engineer had made was, if the plan is to scope the project using the grant funds only, he's suggesting that we reduce the length for the base bid by 1/3 of the overall project length, and then putting the other third out as an alternate. So he said perhaps McKinley to Milford can be the base and Milford to Maine could be the alternate. And I wanted to get some guidance from the mayor and council before moving forward to discuss that with him, because we're going to have to put together an ordinance with the DOT. The good news is they don't require down payment because they pay you 75% upfront. But whatever decision we make will affect whether or not we're putting more money towards this and how much we're putting towards it. So they're probably still, there's definitely going to be an ordinance. Whether or not we're actually going to be bonding it to cover the balance is the question.
You said the two sections were McKinley to,
Well, the suggestion was, in order to make the base fit within the grant funding, it would be McKinley to Milford, and then Milford to Maine as the alternate.
Chris, is the soft costs included in the grant, or we have to fund that as well?
The DOT will pay a small portion of the engineering. They pay part of the design, I believe, not the inspection, is the way it goes.
Do we
What-
not have money left over?
money left over? I thought
Yeah.
this was a tight budget year.
No, we have money left over for roads.
Oh, okay. How
No,
much? No?
no.
So that's a no, we don't have money left over for the roads.
No, we don't.
So what's the amount we're looking to fund above the 214?
Well, that's the question for the council. We can just proceed with the part that we have the grant for, and the only
Right,
additional money then would be the engineering costs that aren't covered by the grant.
which we would have to do anyway.
Right.
But if we wanted to go ahead and do
All of
the
it.
full scope, right, what's the full amount?
Well, the full construction amount is, say, 340, 337.5.
I'm sorry, 337.5?
Yes.
So you need like another 125,000.
Plus engineering at that point, yes.
And that's approximately what, 125? Councilman Grotzky, is that what you were saying?
I'm just doing it in my head, yeah.
You're just eyeballing it.
In this,
Then it sounds like it makes sense to break it up and do the McKinley to Milford and put the second section out to alternate bid.
Yeah.
If we're not going to commit to all of the additional funds, then we'll get that large section. We will get that large section complete, most of it paid for with the grant that we received.
I think that's the way to go.
I agree.
I concur.
Yeah, I agree.
Roads are expensive.
Yes,
They are.
okay.
Anything else on item number 3? Okay. Item number 4 is schedule updates. It is the beginning of the year. The only thing that I have so far is I have been talking to our rec director, John Heineman, and from his recreation meeting, people were interested in doing the Easter Bunny thing again, some version of it. So we're thinking about doing a hippity hoppity trail, which would be similar to Halloween, where we would use Chiquino Drive and hand out Easter eggs, jelly beans, candy, little toys, and people would have the opportunity to see the Easter Bunny and snap a picture of them through your car window. The tentative date would be Saturday, March 27th, which is the Saturday before Palm Sunday, and the rain date would be Saturday, April 3rd, which is the day before Easter. So this is just in the planning stage right now. So as we have more meetings and more information, I will update everyone. If you remember last year, we just did a drive-by in the ShopRite parking lot, the old ShopRite, and we had the Easter Bunny with the fire department, and we did like the horseshoe, but we did not give anything away. There were no handouts or anything at that event, and it was freezing. I remember it was cold.
Yes, it was.
Well, now we have some experience.
Yes, we are now experts
We
in
do.
drive-by events.
Yes.
Anything else about item number 4, events?
I have an event. I mean, did you want me to wait until
No,
you go around?
now is the time.
Okay. As some of you know, and some of you may not know, in 1983, there was a fire in the Borough Hall. And that date was January 17th. And we lost a firefighter that day. And every year since, on January 17th, the fire department comes together in front of the monument at the Borough Hall just to honor Billy Entwistle, whose life was lost that day when he became trapped on the second floor in the fire. So we are all invited to, it's usually quick but respectful. So that would be Sunday, January 17th at 9 a.m. on the Borough Hall front lawn by the monument. It's hard to believe it's been that long. So.
You're
Thank
right.
you.
It is not a very long ceremony, but it is pretty powerful.
Yeah, yep,
That's Sunday, January 17th at 9.
yes.
In front of the Borough Hall.
Remember.
Anything else in item number 4? Okay. Item number 5 is the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. First on my report, the task force, the COVID-19 task force met on January 7th, and there were reports from the New Milford Police Department, OEM, the Ambulance Corps, the Health Department, Administration, the DPW, Recreation, and the Board of Ed. Some of the topics that we discussed that day included recreation sports, both winter and spring, the possibility of a vaccination site in New Milford, and the status of borough buildings and services. The next meeting of the task force is scheduled for Thursday, January 21st. Also good news this week, we received notice of a grant award from the Bergen County Community Development for block grant funding for an ADA walkway at Prospect Park. And the grant covers the total estimated cost of $18,840. We have a pre-construction meeting scheduled for Knights Field this Friday, January 15th. Information on the 2020 budget has been forwarded to the members of the Budget Committee and the CFO in anticipation of our first meeting, hopefully at the end of this week. We're still trying to work out the scheduling. We're going to be starting with the capital budget so that we can have it completed by the end of this month. The thinking is that we'd like to introduce and adopt the ordinance for the capital budget prior to the planned bond sale, which is scheduled for the spring, so that the debt from this year's capital ordinance can be part of that bond issue. The borough's public health nurse, who was scheduled to retire on April 15th of this year, has decided to postpone her retirement date to assist the borough through the next few months of the pandemic. She has extended the date through June 30th and will be reevaluating it as that date approaches. She said she's willing to consider extending it further. She has a big commitment to the town, and she feels responsible to try and see us through as much as possible with what's going on. And she knows with the vaccinations and coming that there's a lot that's going to be done this year, and she wanted to be sure that she was there to help. Other than that, I just have 2 housekeeping items. Monday, January 18th, the Borough Hall is closed in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And our next meeting, 3rd for January, is January 25th. January 25th, yes. That's it for me, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, the borough nurse has been doing a tremendous job. She's been working overtime on all that's going on, particularly with contact tracing. So we are happy that she wants to stay a little bit longer. So item number 6, vaccination location, Mid-Bergen. So in recent discussions with our health officer, Sam Yanovich, it is pretty certain that New Milford will be a place where people can get vaccinations. There will be vaccinations available for us. One of the items that we need to take care of is we need a refrigerator that can house the vaccinations and keep it to the appropriate temperatures. As everyone knows, these vaccinations, the Pfizer and the Moderna, have specific temperatures they must stay at. If they do not stay at these temperatures, they will not work. So one of the things we need to discuss is if New Milford, if we are going to be a vaccination site, we are going to have to move forward and buy one of these refrigerators, which I'm pretty sure towns all across the country are trying to purchase as we speak. The estimated cost of the refrigerator is about $3,000. We can submit that to FEMA for 75% reimbursement because it will be a COVID expense, and we will also be asking Mid-Bergen Health to help cover the cost. We will own the refrigerator, and hopefully when the pandemic is over, we will able to have it and house our other vaccinations, particularly our child vaccinations, our animal vaccinations. We'll just have more space, and hopefully we'll not have another situation where we will need it in a major large-scale pandemic, but we will have it if we do.
Mayor, the vaccines, each of the 2 vaccines that are currently being used requires a different temperature level. So you can't
Correct.
New Milford would not get both vaccines,
No.
they would get one. And this
Yes,
refrigerator would be sufficiently cold,
correct.
whichever one we get. Okay.
Correct. My understanding is that a community will get one type of the vaccination. I believe we are slated to get Moderna ones. That was the latest I heard, and Moderna has to be kept, I don't know, at like 2 degrees or something like that. But these refrigerators have alarms on them, so as soon as it gets close to being out of range, an alarm will go off and it can be reset. So these are medical refrigerators.
Well, I know we've had a problem with the refrigerator in the health department before. What happens if the power goes out?
On a generator.
Or on a generator.
Oh, okay. Just
Yes.
want to make sure.
Yes.
What if we get the
believe-
Pfizer?
Once.
Yes.
That's why I brought this up, because I do remember it happening once, and that's the last thing we
Yes.
want to
Right.
waste is that precious
Right.
vaccine.
I mean, I
What if we
believe that
get the Pfizer?
I believe that we should do what we can to become a vaccination site to make it as convenient as possible for our residents to get vaccinated. So
Absolutely.
I personally agree
something
with you
that I would
completely.
be in favor of. I'm sorry, Councilman
Right.
Grodzki.
Yeah, if we get the Pfizer one, is this freezer capable of going below 94 negative?
Correct.
It could go
Yes.
below 94 negative. Okay, fine.
Correct.
That goes fast.
Correct.
Okay.
I know there's a third vaccination on the verge of approval. I don't know what the temperature restrictions are, and I don't think that we'll see those.
AstraZeneca, and I think it's room temperature or just refrigerator temperature.
Do we need a motion? Are we paying for this with capital improvement fund? And what's the plan here?
I believe it'll be eligible for capital improvement.
Yes, we could
Yes.
definitely, but I want to, are we,
Yes, I'm going to ask for a motion.
okay.
Yes. Can I get a motion to purchase the
So
refrigerator?
moved.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Councilwoman Siraki Hurley,
Yes.
Councilman Seymour,
Yes,
Councilwoman Duffy.
I'd like to make a comment before I vote, just to say that the president of our Board of Health, along with our public health nurse, our administrator, our mayor, have gone above and beyond to make this come to fruition for our town. Had we not done this, our residents would have to go to Leonia to get their vaccines. But we all felt that it was important for New Milford to be a vaccine site. And I say thank you to the council for your full support on this. Our residents deserve these services, and their health is of the utmost importance to us. So I say yes.
Councilman Grotzky,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sandhusen,
Yes.
Council President Grant.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much, everyone. And I think Councilwoman Duffy said it perfectly. This is tremendously important, so I'm glad we are moving forward with this. Resolutions. Everyone had a chance to look at the resolutions. Are there any that need to be pulled out for further discussion? Okay.
I do have one question, Chris. Resolution 2021:53, I'm sorry, 54. Is it Major Consulting or Collier Engineering? I thought they were changing their name. So why are both names there, or am I wrong?
Because the novation agreement includes both Mazer and Collier. They're both signatories on it.
I thought they weren't merging?
Well, yes, Mazer is being absorbed by Collier, but they are party to the novation agreement.
Okay.
I took a look at it, members of the governing body. It's really effectuating a name change. I was concerned about the novation and having to rebid, but that's why Mazer's staying on it. And they're going to be subsumed into Collier, so it would ultimately be Collier, and it's the same contract.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Mr. Kelly.
Anything else with the resolutions? If not, I would ask for a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any members of the public that wish to speak? Raise your hand, type in that you're here, and you'll get 5 minutes to talk about anything related to New Milford.
May I say something before somebody chimes in? I see that Tanya Andrews is one of the attendees, and I want to congratulate her on being elected president of the New Milford Board of Education.
Yes, congratulations.
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 Okay, and Tanya raised her hand, so I'm going to.
Okay. Well, good evening.
Hello, Mayor Petrino.
Hi,
How are you
Tanya.
tonight?
Good, I'm excellent. Thank you for the congratulatory wishes. And I just wanted to say I look forward to continuing the good relationship we have with the town and working together to benefit our residents.
Absolutely. And just for the record, could you just give us your name and your address?
Oh, goodness. My name is Tanya Andrews and I'm at 348 Shea Drive.
I knew that, but no one else did, so I had to ask you.
And
I
I
And Tanya, I'm looking
Yes.
forward to working with you guys.
as well.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know,
We love
over the last couple of years, the borough and the school district have been building a relationship, which is strong. We've been doing partnerships together, whether it's recreational fields or shared services, and that's definitely something we want to continue. So we thank you, and we'll be working closely going forward.
Excellent. Thank you all. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you and
Thank you.
congratulations again.
Congratulations.
I also want to thank former President Paige Ryan for everything that she has done on the Board of Education.
Absolutely.
She has been tremendous on the board, and they were really lucky. We were all lucky to have her there, and I had a really good relationship with her, and I hope to continue that with Tanya.
I'm sorry, Tanya, did you have something else you wanted to say?
No, that was all. Did I
Okay,
raise my hand by accident?
yeah,
Sorry.
no problem. Okay. We have two other members of the public in attendance. I don't see that either of them would like to comment at this time, Mayor.
Okay. With that, I would like to ask for a motion to close to the public.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, before we do resolutions, why don't we go around the table real quick, go around the squares real quick, and we're going to start with Councilman Grotzky.
Thank you, Mayor. Currently busy working on budgets and operations and all this kind of stuff. It's very time consuming and interesting, shall we say, at this point. That's it.
It's always interesting and fascinating, the budget process.
Yes, it is.
Council President Grant.
I really don't have very much to report at the moment. I'm working on a couple of initiatives, which I'll discuss with the council when I have more information. None of my commissions or boards have met yet this month, so I have nothing to report from them. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Thank you. Councilwoman Sarah Hurley.
Thank you, Mayor. I actually don't really have anything to report yet. My boards are meeting actually tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. So possibly, hopefully, I'll have some info for our following meeting next week, the end of this month, rather. Thank you.
It's going to be an extra coffee week for you.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Sandhusen.
Thank you, Mayor. The Environmental Commission has met last week and they had their reorganization, and Chairperson Lynn Torpy is in for a second year. So we're very grateful for everything she did previous year to keep the commission together, and they're looking forward to their projects coming up. They had a presentation by the Hackensack Riverkeeper, came and spoke, and the Hackensack Riverkeeper had taken a walk with myself over at the New Milford Woods, and they were very impressed with what was done over there. And then they had really great words to say about the cleanup and how good it's looking. So they had some recommendations also on that they would be able to offer, but they were mostly happy to see that there's opportunity for outdoor education, outdoor classrooms, and opportunities to partner. So they spoke a lot about the opportunities for partnership and gave a little presentation to the commission about what opportunities are available. So some of the ways that the commission is making some outreach with other public organizations. And next month, Hillsborough Environmental Commission Chairperson Meredith Cates is going to be presenting to the commission about the environmental resource inventory process, creation process. So the commission is doing some self-education, so we'll keep you updated on that process. So they're learning about how to go forward with that much needed environmental resource inventory. And that's it. Everyone else is to be seen. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I think the Environmental Commission and the DPW working together on the Milford Woods, I think we're going to have a really nice surprise for residents in the spring when we open it. I believe it's actually adding about 4,000 feet of passive walkways. So this is going to be really, really good for our community. So thank you again.
And there's a tentative opening date for ceremony around Earth Day. So we're looking at either the weekend before. So I'll let you know when the date is finalized.
That's April, isn't it?
That'll be in April.
Wonderful. Councilman Seymour.
Just to follow up on Councilwoman Sandhusen had indicated, she gave me a nice tour of the New Milford Woods earlier in the year, and I'm excited. I think it's great to have some of that walking space in town. It'll be great for our community, especially our kids, to have an ability to go out and get some exercise, which we all need right now. In addition to that, the rec committee, recreation did meet this week on last week on Wednesday. Everybody is excited and eager for the Knightsfield construction to begin. And they're working very hard to try their best to, fingers crossed, hopefully get an abbreviated indoor sports season going, in particular indoor basketball. So that's all I have to report.
Excellent. I think we are all looking forward to recreation sports again. So I'm glad we are working on it and trying to move forward.
Yep.
Councilwoman Duffy.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, let's see, a couple of weeks ago, the new slate of officers and for the fire department were sworn in. And, you know, with them, they are a pretty great, tight group of people that are, you know, completely committed to the town. So it's, you know, as things happen, we get notified. On the Board of Health, you got your report today. The most important thing that we are very happy to discuss and find out more about our vaccination sites and being able to host this for our community. Under beautification, I'm sure the members of the beautification will be involved in the Easter event. I've already started, you know, we've started to brainstorm on a few things that we'll report. Also, Mayor, I had a question about the new members for the 100th anniversary.
Yes.
Were they appointed yet?
No, we reappointed last year's committee, so we have the 5 seats open, and we
Right.
have, I know so far, I know we have 2 of the 5. I didn't know if you had any additional, and we could appoint them at our next meeting as a full slate of 5, if that's your preference.
Okay. I think we have 3, don't we?
We might have 3.
Okay, I think we do. All right, well, so then you're gonna do that at our next meeting then.
We could appoint the 3 tonight if you want. Shall we do that?
Okay, sure.
Okay. We will do that. Just give Chris the names.
No. Well, you want the names now?
Why don't you make a
Yes.
motion, just name them?
Okay. Like to make a motion to appoint 3 new members to the 100th Anniversary Committee. Their names, former Councilwoman Kelly Langschultz, Roberta Whitley Gomez, and Maura Henyes. Thea, can I get a second?
I'm sorry, I'm writing the second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Any opposed? Well,
Thank you.
congratulations and thank you for volunteering. It's going to be exciting. 100th anniversary is going to be exciting.
And,
We're a little behind
you
schedule,
know,
but
I'm sure,
we're
yeah,
going to make it work.
I'm sure Thea will tell you that even though we are a little stymied by the pandemic and all, we're still excited. We still have plans, and we try to be in touch with kind of our core group at the moment, but we will get back to meeting our larger group as soon as possible.
Excellent.
And there's still 2 more openings, right, Mayor?
Yes.
Yes,
So we are looking for 2 more members.
right.
Anything else?
Thank you. That's it for now.
Okay.
May I add something, particularly since Tanya Andrews is still on? At the task force meeting, Superintendent Polizzi offered the use of the school buildings for vaccinations. If
Yeah.
we-
Fantastic.
That was correct. That's correct. The only thing I would like to add is speaking with the county through Historic Newbridge Landing, we are going to add 2 signs in New Milford that point you in the direction of Historic Newbridge Landing. One is going to be in the River Road, River Edge Ave area, and the other one is going to be closer to the New Milford-Oradell border. So that is good news because there is no signage on the north end of town leading people to Newbridge, and they've been doing a lot of promotion for the site, and it's going well.
Yeah.
Okay. Resolutions. May I get a motion to approve resolutions 2021:52 through 2021:55.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go into closed session. When we open up from close, we will be adjourning the meeting. No action will be taken after closed session. So Chris, let me know when we're ready to go into closed.
Okay, just one moment.
Do you
Mayor.
need a motion?
We
Yeah.
will. I just need Chris to,
Oh,
we just need
No, I want the motion before we go in, yes.
to make it a motion to go into closed session.
yeah, so
Motion.
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
Thank you.